Exercise Physiology 1 oral presentation scenario 4. Overview. Max, a 35-year-old male, is one of our 8 clients undergoing a fitness program within our fitness business. Under the care of one of our ESSA nationally accredited sports scientists, we have recently heard some news that Max found our sports scientists to have a great deal of knowledge surrounding the program, although they are not very personable and can be a touch impatient or cranky. It has come to our attention that due to this, Max is thinking of going in another direction and working with someone who aims to be a bit more personal with him rather than more qualified. Concerns arise with this as we all feel this new sports scientist won't have the ability to fully help Max due to being underqualified. Aims. Based upon Max's views and concerns of the program with our sports scientist, it is prominent that they need to focus on improving their people skills while also still holding that professional level throughout the program. To do this, we are looking into the ways he can improve while also covering the positive and negative attributes of equalization between being professional and being personal. This should be quite easy for the sports scientist to do as he is still very passionate in his career and still loves to help clients. Professional conduct of a sports scientist. As a sports scientist, it is very important to stick to the code of professional conduct and ethical practice within the job. According to ESSA, sticking to professional conduct is based upon the way an individual behaves while acting in a professional capacity. It means sticking to the standards and duty of the profession while also still aiming to build that relationship with the clients. It is generally accepted that when performing their duties and conducting their affairs, exercise and sports science professionals will uphold exemplary standards of conduct, commonly taken to mean standards that are generally higher than those expected of the general public. Exercise and sports science professionals have a duty to make client care their first concern and to build a relationship based upon honesty and trust. The 4 main guidelines to follow include acting in the best interests of the individual client, delivering services competently, diligently, and ethically, complying with this code of professional conduct and ethical practice, and complying with other relevant legislation such as the National Code of Conduct for Healthcare Workers and the World Anti-Doping Code. When working with clients, it is also important to base their guidelines and parameters off of the programs around the client's wants, needs, and personal requests, like their interests, anything pretty much personal. They need to make sure to be aware of both the physical and psychological needs of the client, whether that be creating an environment that's still professional, but a more personal approach to make the client feel more comfortable.
After the conversation with the family friend to address what is being heard, a personal evaluation should be done and the initiation of change in behaviour should be completed. This will show the willingness to change behaviour, which is essential in seeing real difference. Between 18 and 254 days is the time it can take to change behaviour and form a new habit. This means an average of more than 2 months is needed to change and improve a habit. Therefore, a sports scientist will need around 2 months to form a new habit and improve communication with clients. Although minor improvements should be seen after 2 weeks, the clients need to feel heard and like they can continue with the fitness program provided and not go elsewhere. Working with other accredited sports scientists is an option to gain a better perspective of how they work with their clients. This can provide new techniques and ways of communicating with clients that don't come across as impatient or cranky. Gaining advice from fitness coaches may also provide useful insights as to where clients would want to move on. The upkeep and management of continuing professional development CPD points is an important technique to improve communication with clients and professional practice. A minimum of 20 points yearly is needed, with 5 of these points coming from self-education/professional contributions. This is a category that our sports scientists needs to be more invested in to improve their practice. Industry promotional activities, where our sports scientists can participate in conferences, where volunteering is needed, community events, professional events, and publications targeting consumers, will make our sports scientists more personable and encourage better behaviour and actions toward clients. This will also ensure clients feel more comfortable and welcomed, making their experience better. In conjunction with CPD points, activities and ESSA formal learning self-assessment tool should be completed to maximise self-reflection and ensure a change is made in the way our sports scientists interact with their clients. Based on the attributes aligned with the accredited sports scientist professional standards 1 to 6, which apply to all ESSA accredited sports scientists, an analysis of behaviour can be evaluated against these standards to measure if change in behaviour has occurred. Standards will also show if further action needs to be taken to ensure the well-being of clients both mentally and physically. This is due to these standards encompassing the minimum requirements to practice lawfully, safely and effectively as a sports scientist. 3 surveys from Max and the 7 other long-term clients can be done to address if they feel there has been a change in their sports scientist's behaviour and if they feel more welcomed and listened to. 1 survey should be taken at 2 weeks into the period of change and another at the 2-month mark to solidify if change has occurred. An initial survey can also be completed to determine why clients feel they should change their sports scientist and what specific actions or language are used that come across as impatient or cranky. After the 2 months is completed, an analysis of behaviour has been completed using the accredited sports scientist professional standards 1 to 6, and a change has been found. More time should be spent with clients ensuring these new skills are implemented into the fitness programs. If feedback is provided by clients, then this should be taken aboard and used to ensure the well-being of clients. Regular self-assessment should be completed to ensure they are working at their best and continuing to improve and not fall back into old habits. Right.
For my part of this presentation, I'll be discussing the long-term benefits of our sports scientists changing their attitude. As previously discussed, the main factor causing one of our clients to move on from us is our attitude and behavior. As an ESSA nationally accredited sports scientist, our qualifications are vital in prescribing exercise programs that prioritize client safety. By maintaining a positive attitude, we can create an environment where clients feel comfortable and confident in our expertise. Choosing a fitness coach solely based on their likability without considering their qualifications may compromise client safety and well-being, which will be discussed later. Our commitment to professionalism and expertise should always be paramount. One of the biggest benefits to changing one's attitude is that our sports scientists will be more likely to retain their current clients and even gain more through word of mouth. By being a better mannered, friendlier, and approachable sports scientist will have a vast number of benefits on our own well-being and that of our clients. By improving our behavior, we'd create a more positive, engaging, and safer environment for our clients to train in. When a client feels valued, heard, and supported, they are more likely to remain committed and engaged in the prescribed fitness programs. A positive attitude cultivates an environment where clients feel comfortable in expressing their concerns, seeking guidance, and ultimately achieving the results they desire. This is also shown in a study conducted by Taylor et al. In 2014, in which they observed how different delivery methods of information affected the information being received by a client. In this study, they had 92 university participants receive an online training program from either a charismatic trainer or a non-charismatic trainer. The participants were then later on tested to observe the effects of the different trainers, in which the results found that there was a higher score from participants with a charismatic trainer than that of a non-charismatic trainer. This means that having a charismatic trainer is a relatively important aspect of training delivery effectiveness, highlighting the importance of us sports scientists changing their attitude. Another benefit to this would be our own personal growth and development. By being a more patient, approachable, and understanding, we challenge ourselves to develop stronger interpersonal skills. This change in attitude can also affect how our brain functions, as there have been numerous studies which observe how positive thinking and behavior affects the neuroplasticity in our brain. This positive behavior can increase synapses, mental productivity, improve our ability to analyze incoming information, problem solve, and enhance creativity. This growth not only enhances our relationships with clients, but also extends to other areas of our lives, making us more effective and successful fitness professionals.
Moving on to my part. So the bit of our scenario that I will be covering is specifically that Max aims to be with someone more personal, which means we're not being very personal. And that this is a problem because we think that he cannot safely prescribe exercise due to his being underqualified. So start with the personal. These are the factors of the mentality of an exercise program, and I've highlighted the ones that we as an exercise physiologist are probably being not too good at, and it's something that someone less qualified, if they're good at, is very alluring for patients to lead them into kind of dangerous exercise programs. So they're specifically good at motivating patients, feedback and reinforcement, and determining an alliance. That's well and good because you're on a really good relationship with it. But the main takeaway, this is why it's dangerous, personal skills are good, but they are not alone efficient. If they cannot have the knowledge to safely prescribe exercise, then personal skills alone doesn't get you there. So what are the actual dangers of not being someone as qualified? A lot of issues come from poor pre-screening. So people who are particularly at risk are diabetics, asthmatics, or people with pre-existing cardio or respiratory and musculoskeletal conditions. This is because they're usually genetic or long-lasting and they've just had them all their life. They could simply forget or they'll just not tell you. And a lot of these conditions can be like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, interstitial lung osteoarthritis or osteoporosis. And it's easier to get away with these conditions with an underqualified person because you want to still do the thing. And this risks just a lot of kind of really dangerous conditions like diabetic shock, anaphylaxis, cardiac arrest, trouble breathing, and fracture. These are all just absolutely worst case scenarios with working with someone who's super underqualified. They're really easily avoidable. And someone who is usually more qualified works in a professional setting where these things are treatable. So you've got a first aid kit, you have epinephrine, insulin, or defibrillator. But the true danger of working with someone less qualified comes further down the track in more minute detail. So, and this presents itself as just insufficient knowledge, which is what makes them underqualified. I've got two quotes from respected studies. Acute overloading increases the risk of tendon rupture, whereas proper static stretching repairs the tendon for better mechanical loading and performance. The other one is, provided trauma is avoided, there appears to be improved physical functioning and reduction of pain and disability in knee osteoarthritis patients who exercise. So the key takeaway from these two studies is that there's a really important difference between exercise that is beneficial, between rehabilitation that increases blood flow and stimulates stem cells, and that between detrimental exercise. You're just working something that's broken and it's getting worse. And the less qualified you are, the easier it is to overlook this difference because you fail to ask a lot of really specific questions like, do you have any past injuries? Like I know you would have come to me, you want to gain muscle or lose fat, but do you have any past injuries that I should be aware of? And if you're rehabilitating an injury, do you have any other injuries? That often gets overlooked. If they smoked, that's really obviously important, just when you're prescribing aerobic exercise. Are they currently taking any medicines or painkillers? And if so, are they prescription? What grade are they? This is really often overlooked because a good way to tell if it's getting better or worse due to exercise is the amount of pain that they're feeling. So they say that they're feeling nothing, but they're on a course of painkillers, that obviously skews the data. Has been diagnosed by a professional. Is this a genuine condition, or it's hard to tell if it's just soreness from exercise? And do you know enough about the area and the nature of the individual injury? So it takes a lot of personal skill to tell your clientele that you don't think you're fully qualified to do this, recognizing that you are underqualified in some areas to prescribe what they want to do. Yeah. Those are sort of the dangers of working with someone less qualified. This is why it's a problem. So to sum up our presentation, I suppose some of the main takeaways was that utilizing these personal skills, the aforementioned now hopefully attained ones, you can ensure patient care and ongoing safety by not losing them to less qualified physiologists. And what is truly best for a client from a professional opinion may vary from their initial personal goal, and that takes a lot of personal skill. It's not always an easy conversation to say, I know you want to do this, but given your condition or given your physicality, you might need to adjust your goal setting and try for something different. And it just develops an honest relationship and allows for reliable pre-screening so you can avoid all of those dangers. Consistent feedback during and after, so you know what worked, what didn't with this patient and your exercise program. And it inspires patients to follow self-motivated programs, which is truly how everyone comes fit in the consistency of it by themselves. Yeah, thank you very much. How long will that take for? 10 minutes.
9.